All right, we are live on YouTube. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. Glad you could all join me here tonight. If you're here live, it is Sunday, February 13th, 2022, Valentine's Day Eve. And I know what many of you think of Valentine's Day, and I will agree with you for the most part. It is I guess a fake holiday where guys spend truckloads of money on their lady just to make them happy. But do you really need Valentine's Day to be happy with a lady, or is it just a day where, retailers make a ton of money? I'll let you decide that on your own. Regardless of what you choose to do tomorrow, have a great time with that special loved one. My lady is working, so I'm not going to be seeing her tomorrow. I'll be seeing her later on during the week, and we will go out for Valentine's Day like the day after or a couple days after, where all the prices are back down to normal, not 2 to 3 times as much for flowers, and restaurant prices get jacked up and portions are smaller and all that stuff. But anyway, I'm not here to talk about that. I can't even talk. I'm not here to talk about that tonight. I'm here to run another great, amazing show that was formerly called Crazy Dating Stories. Last week I did Crazy Dating Stories Volume 8. And this week I decided to change the name of the show just to make it a little more searchable on YouTube, and to also, call it what it really is. I wouldn't quite necessarily say that all the stories I've done from Reddit and dissected from Reddit are crazy. A lot of them are. But that's not the real reason why I do these stories. I do them. I can't even talk. Hold on a second. I'm so sorry, folks. I've had a little bit of a cold, and I've had a bunch of congestion. And every so often, it goes down my throat to the point of where I can't talk and I have to clear my throat. So if that happens a few times tonight, please forgive me. I'm only human, right? But I wanted to title the show what its purpose really is. It's really about giving dating advice. So I changed the title to Dating Advice for Men and Women. And I'm not going to start off at Volume 1. I'm just going to leave off from Volume 8 of Crazy Dating Stories. So tonight we're doing Dating Advice for Men and Women, Volume 9. So without further ado, let's get right to it. All right. Let's switch on over to the browser source. Ooh, what's going on there? Okay, I didn't need to show that one yet. There we go. There we go. There's a reason why that screenshot was there, but one button and we're back to where we need to be. All right, this first story from Reddit is from the subreddit relationships_advice. And the original poster's title is I'm 25M. I 25M. I can't even do this right. The way these people write these, it's a 25 male saying, I'm so terrified of falling out of love. There we go. I got it. With my girlfriend, who's a 24 female, that I feel like I'm making it happen. One more time. The 25-year-old male says, I'm so terrified of falling out of love with my girlfriend, who's a 24 female, that I feel like I'm making it happen. Well, sir, just based off of your title, to me, it kind of sounds like you're feeling that the woman you're with is great regarding many aspects, and she's loyal and faithful to you, but something is missing. So let's read what he wrote and figure out what's missing. Because a man that's completely fulfilled and happy with his woman is not going to be saying this, especially coming out here on the internet, on Reddit, and posting about it, right? Here's what he wrote. By that, I mean, I'm constantly worrying and questioning whether or not I'm actively feeling love for her in any given moment. Okay, if you're questioning that, there's a reason for it. Something is lacking. And if I'm not feeling that cozy butterfly feeling in that random moment, I spiral. Well, sir, this not only has to do with how you're feeling in any particular moment, it has to do with how you feel overall. There's something lacking in your relationship that you feel you'd want to get from a woman that you're not getting from this woman. But she's so great at most things that you've been kind of putting up with it. And honestly, sir, I mean, if you haven't already talked with her about this, you should be talking with her about it, but you don't want to hurt her feelings, so you probably haven't. The thing keeping me from accepting that I'm actually falling out of love is that I think testing my own love in random moments is unfair to myself and will get biased results because I'm putting myself and my feelings on the spot. Sir. Wow, that was a pretty interesting statement there. It sounds like to me you're kind of trying to justify not feeling those butterflies anymore for this woman in the same ways you did when you first met her, because you learned more about her and you realize something is lacking. And you're a good guy, nice guy, however you want to say it, and you don't want to come off like a jerk. And most importantly, you're not in love with her, but you do love her and you don't want to hurt her. This is pretty common, bro. Pretty common. What are things I can do to nurse that love back? There's nothing you can do. It's either there or it isn't. If you're not feeling it, or if there's something lacking, you should talk about it with your lady. And if she's open to talking about it and it can be resolved, then that spark could come back and, last for eternity. If she's not open to talking about it, it doesn't get any better, then, sir, you're going to have to part ways because you're just not going to be happy. Not force. Well, he said, what are things I can do to nurse that love back, not force? If I find at the end of this that it is truly fading away, then I will accept it and deal with it. It's already gone, sir. You wouldn't be writing this if that's not how you were actually feeling or have been feeling for a while. But I feel it's still there, and maybe I just need to do more to let that love thrive and flourish. Sir, if that love was there, it would be something you wouldn't be questioning at all. The fact that you're questioning it is telling me that it's not there, and there's enough there to keep it going for the time being, but that's not enough to keep it going forever, sir. And you're at that point right now where I'm sure there are, better options out there that you've come across that would fulfill you more, but you don't want to make that change because you don't want to hurt the woman you're with. Well, the longer you take to make her aware of it, whether it works out or not, if it doesn't work out, it's going to hurt you both more the longer you wait to discuss it. We've been together 5 years and have had a really solid, beautiful relationship together. Well, yeah, she's probably really overly into you, and that could be part of the reason you're feeling this way. A lot of times when a woman is really, really into a man so much, she can overwhelm the man to start to question his feelings for her, right? So both people have to be balanced. So you need to talk with this lady and really see what's going on. Sounds like you both get along and you're both loyal and faithful and all that, and you've got a lot of great stuff happening, but there's something lacking, and you haven't shared enough information for any one of us to figure out what's lacking. So we can really figure out why you're feeling the way you're feeling, why you're questioning this. Let's go down to the comments section and read a few comments here and see what they said. Love and the feelings it creates will change over time. It doesn't have to. It should get better and stronger over time. If feelings start to dissipate, that means there's something lacking that wasn't lacking initially, or one side or the other didn't notice something that was bothering them until later on down the road. Sometimes it takes time to see certain things that don't work for people. New love has a special feeling that doesn't last forever. Well, that's true. That's called the honeymoon period, but that doesn't mean it can't last forever. There will never be any more exciting time in a relationship than the first 2 to 3 months. It's a honeymoon period, maybe even 6 months, right? Okay, and that's the time to really get to know each other and see how compatible you really are in all ways. And if you make it past the 3 to 6 month period or so, then you're compatible. If it doesn't work out after that, it's for other reasons besides compatibility, such as cheating, or, lying about certain things or whatever. But typically you'll figure things out within 3 to 6 months if there's compatibility between the both of you, complete compatibility, or as close to complete compatibility as possible. Okay. Let's see. But it can grow into something much deeper that has different feelings. Well, that's what naturally happens as relationships progress. You figure out in the first 3 to 6 months if the chemistry is really, really there through great intimacy, spending time together, having great conversations, etc. And then, once the honeymoon period is done, you kind of settle into the relationship. It doesn't mean that you stop doing what you were doing or being who you are, but you start to realize, hey, this is somebody I enjoyed being around. I want to keep this going, right? Okay. I can't even imagine spending a day not talking to my BFs. This is a woman. I can't imagine not spending the rest of my life with him. Well, this woman is really into this guy 100%. That's not a bad thing. Every thought I have about the future includes him. If you don't feel that way, maybe your concerns are valid. I completely agree. I'll give you a big round of applause for that. Yeah. That's exactly what I was saying. Yeah. He's lost that loving feeling. Maybe she stopped doing certain things she was doing initially. Maybe she put on a little bit of weight. Who knows? Maybe he put on a little bit of weight. Maybe they both got different jobs and their schedule changed. There's not enough information here for us to figure out what's going on. But the fact that he's out talking about this and questioning his feelings for her is enough said, in my opinion. Let's see. That cozy butterfly feeling is generally called infatuation. Well, typically when people first meet, if you don't have that, I wouldn't call it infatuation. I would call it a large spark or rush of sexual attraction. And it fades very quickly in relationships. It doesn't have to. With most of the women I've been with, if it's gone more than 2 or 3 dates or so, there's been intimacy and we're continuously seeing each other and having the constant intimacy, we don't lose that feeling. Of course, the first time you're intimate with someone new, that same thrill and excitement of wondering how someone new is going to be is never going to be there a second time. But if you enjoy each other's company and the intimacy is great, you can continue enjoying it at a pretty high level. It just depends on the chemistry. It's either there or it isn't. Attraction is a must and not a choice. It is replaced by something calm and comfortable and strong. When you've been with someone for years, you don't have that frantic, giddy feeling every second. And that's how it's supposed to be. That sounds exhausting, honestly. No, actually, it doesn't. Because every woman that I've dated, okay, our schedules have been pretty balanced, okay? Meaning that we have a great work and personal life balance. And, we're not, being overbearing with text messaging and phone calls. And we're not seeing each other every day, at least not initially. Right down the road, if you move in together and you get more serious, sure, right? But depending on how, you both manage the relationship, that feeling doesn't have to fade very quickly. And another thing I've always said is that, you need to properly vet the people that you're meeting and ask lots of questions and see how truly compatible you are at a mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual level before even meeting on a first date, especially if you're using online dating. So that's, excuse me a second. Man, I got to tell you, I can't wait for this cold to be over. But anyway, like I said, the mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual is very, very important. And that feeling can continue to blossom as long as you're truly into each other. A lot of you, like I said, are not taking the time to properly get to know each other. And you're just, dating each other based on looks. Maybe you have, one or two similar interests, but you haven't taken the time to get to know each other to see if you're compatible in most aspects. And that's important. When you've been with someone for years, you don't have that frantic, oh, we read that. Okay, I read that whole thing. So instead of wondering if you're actively feeling something, here's what you could do to encourage actual love in your relationship. Always have gratitude for your partner and share that gratitude with them frequently. Yelling is only for emergencies. I wouldn't even yell at all. Never, ever, ever yell at a woman or get mad at a woman or anything like that, okay? It's the dumbest thing you can do. You try to have a reasonable conversation with her, and if she's, not listening or she's yelling at you, then you just walk away and tell her, hey, when you're ready to have a reasonable, mature conversation like two grown-ass adults, then come and get me. Until then, I'm going to give you some space, right? That's all you do. Yelling should never be done. That's poor advice. If you're within earshot, just talk to each other calmly. You should talk to each other calmly all the time. Remember, it is you two against the problem, not you against each other. You two against the problem. Okay. Well, no, it's you two trying to work through a potential problem, right? You're trying to figure out what's bothering one or the other. Everyone makes mistakes and has an inner child. Be forgiving and try talking to that inner child in difficult moments. Remember, relationships aren't 50-50 every day. You're going to have to pick up the slack sometimes and vice versa. So don't hold resentment for those moments. I wonder how old the person is that wrote this comment here. Probably in their 20s with not much experience. Yeah, I can kind of understand what they're saying there, but to me this sounds like a bunch of hogwash that was just picked up from some dating gurus. Talk to each other about how you're feeling, what you're thinking, because honesty used with tact is always the best policy. Well, that makes sense there. That makes sense. Yeah, honesty is the best policy. And yes, you should be tactful with any conversation you have, but just be honest and upfront, and don't be afraid to speak what's on your mind, what's bothering you, in fears that the other person's going to break up with you or you're going to hurt them. Because if things don't work out eventually down the road, it's going to hurt you more than if you talk with that person now and that ended the relationship. If it's meant to be, it's meant to be. If it's not meant to be, you want to end it between the both of you as quickly as possible, so that way you both aren't as hurt. The emotional attachment, becomes harder to detach from, the longer you're in a relationship. On the not so jolly side of the fence, if you're experiencing stonewalling, defensiveness, criticism, or contempt in your relationship, then those are extremely difficult to overcome, and it may be time for a breakup. Hope all this helped. Go forth and be happy. Well, if you're experiencing stonewalling, defensiveness, lots of, unreasonable criticism and stuff, yeah, you need to break up with that person, because that person is just not in the right mental and emotional state. They probably have unresolved issues, and, it's going to drive you crazy, and it's just not going to be fun to be a part of someone's life like that. All right. In the end, love is a choice. You will not always feel in love. You have to choose to act like it till it comes back. That's poor advice. You should never act. You're either in love or you're not. And if you're not in love, don't tell someone that you love them just because they're ready to tell you they love you, right? Typically, the woman in the relationship will bring up the relationship about, anywhere from 6 to 12 weeks after the relationship starts. So between a month and a half and 3 months, the woman will ask the guy, how do you feel about me? And, where do you see this heading and stuff like that? And at that point, you can either say, hey, I like the way things are going, and, I want to see where it goes. Or you could say, I love what we have. What you have in mind, babe? I mean, and always wait for the woman to be the one that brings up the relationship. Okay. So you ask her, well, babe, yeah, I like the way things are. What about you? Well, I'm ready to take these to the next level. I really like spending time with you. We're really good together. I want to make it official. And if you're ready, then say, yeah, great, right? And in my opinion, if I was you guys, I would wait for the woman to tell you she loves you first before you tell her. When it comes to this really, really deep stuff, you want to be 100% sure the woman is feeling love and wants to commit to you before you commit to her, even if you're feeling it long before that. Let the woman lead that department. All you have to do as a guy is hang out with her in the meantime. Hang out, have fun, hook up, take her out on dates. Take her out like you're in a committed relationship, even though you don't have a label or a title yet. Leave the labels and titles to the ladies, guys. That's the best advice that I can give you. Yeah, my throat's really, really bothering me tonight. It really is. But I'm going to do my best to make it through this show. Let's read one more from this first one here, and then we'll go to the next posting. I think you need to reframe your mind on what love means and how it manifests in you. Love is a choice. Yeah, I mean, I can understand why you would think love is a choice. I think love is something that's either there or isn't. Just like attraction is either there or it isn't. Attraction is a must and not a choice. I think love is a must. It either is there or it isn't, right? So you can't just automatically choose to love someone that you don't feel love for or you don't have attraction for. I mean, you can love a person for, who they are as a person. But if we're talking about a relationship, you're talking about in love. Being in love is different than just loving someone. We can love any individual platonically on the planet. To love someone in a romantic way and be in love with them, that's a different story. And that is not a choice. It's either there or it isn't. That's based on chemistry and compatibility, which is either there or it isn't. You can't choose that. It either happens or it doesn't. You just don't fall in and out of love. Okay, yeah, I can understand that. I mean, it takes time to fall in love, and people fall in love for different reasons. Everyone is different regarding this. Whoever made this up and made this idea for society is an absolute fool. I wonder how old this guy is. Probably in his 20s, maybe teens. Infatuation, physical attraction, chemistry, that's the stuff you can't control. Well, that's what you need to eventually feel love for someone. Now, I wouldn't go as far and say you have to be infatuated with them because that could be overwhelming to the other side, right? Instead of infatuation, replace that with attraction, right? Attraction, overall attraction, which then includes physical attraction, chemistry. Chemistry has to do with physical attraction and mental and emotional and overall attraction there. But infatuation, typically when one side is infatuated over the other side gets overwhelmed and it never really works out. But love, that's a choice. Nope, I don't think love is a choice, dude. I don't think it is. You got to choose to love your partner even when you don't like them sometimes, or you argue, or even when you don't feel those butterflies. Dude, the way you're wording this is confusing to people, but I get what you mean. What you're saying is that if you're already in love with your partner and you love all aspects of them, when you have some moments where you disagree on things, right, you still love them and you still respect them and You're going to talk things out, and maybe you're not happy for the moment, but you're still in love because you're compatible in all aspects. The original poster is feeling a lack of something from his partner that was once either there because they've been together for 5 years, or he just realized something that, it took him 5 years to figure out. I think he's falling out of love because she stopped doing certain things that made her attracted to him, or made her attractive to him initially when they started dating, or for the first few years. And he's been probably putting up with it for a long time, maybe a year or two, but he's at the point right now where he's tired of overlooking this particular thing or a few things that are lacking, right? But he doesn't know how to tell her because he doesn't want to hurt her. They've been together 5 years, and she's probably a really nice lady, okay? Because that's what it is all about, choosing to stick with them and love them through everything. If you really, truly love them and you're compatible, in that way. Now, the real question for me is the relationship healthy? Are you happy being with this person? Do you see a future with her? Or is or is the relationship falling flat? And that's what I think is happening here. I think the relationship is falling flat. AKA, do you feel like the relationship is healthy? Those are questions you need to ask yourself. It feels like you're putting everything on love. Instead, why don't you look at the relationship truthfully and ask if it is a healthy one? It's probably a healthy one, but there are probably some things that are lacking. Maybe she's not as sexual with him as she used to be. Maybe she gained some weight. Maybe her hours at work changed. Maybe her hours at work changed, and she doesn't have as much time to invest to do the things they used to do initially. Something has changed between the time they met and now 5 years later. Something has changed on her part, or he recognized something, and it took him a while to figure it out, that he's not just happy about, right? Or maybe he was younger when he met her and realized that she really isn't the right type of woman. What he thought was the right type of woman 5 years ago, as he's gotten older, he's learned more about what he really wants, and maybe he just doesn't feel it for her because of that anymore, and he wants to try to find the easy way out without hurting her so he can go and meet someone that's more compatible with him. That could be it. Okay? All right. So let's go to the next posting here. This is from the subreddit dating_advice. And the original poster's title is, "She Isn't Worth It." Wow. She isn't worth it. And this is what he writes. "Been trying to get this girl I really like to go on a date for me, you mean with me for about 2 months. Well, you've been trying too long, bro. If I was single, I would try once, maybe twice. And then chalk it up as, hey, she's not interested. There are plenty of other fish in the sea. We go clubbing together most weekends and have kissed. Just because you've kissed doesn't mean shit. There are women out there that may not necessarily sleep with a lot of guys. Some do, some don't. But if they don't, there are women that will just kiss a bunch of guys. A kiss doesn't mean shit. Until you've been completely intimate with her, 2, 3, 4 times on 3 or 4 separate occasions, you never know where she stands. Okay? She's probably super hot though, huh, dude? This time I organized a whole ass plan. Whole ass plan, dude? Wow, that's some great language to describe it, dude. She and her friend came to my house. Okay. I invited a friend over that I knew her friend liked, so she had more incentive to come. Okay. Well, dude, that's one of your big problems there. When you're, getting to know a woman that you're interested in, initially, you don't go on double dates. You go on dates just with her. When you make it a group event, you make it appear to her like it's just a friendly get together, like you're almost instantly, or actually you practically are friend zoning yourself, bro. That's what you're doing. Okay. I picked them up. We went to my house. I cooked for her because she was hungry. Wow, you cooked for her, bro. And what is this like? Well, you've been hanging out for 2 months. But if you've been hanging out for 2 months and nothing's happened, dude, then why would you cook for her, dude? Dude, this girl looks at you as like, yeah, just a friend. You're friend zone, right? You're the guy that will do everything the boyfriends will do, except you'll do it without getting any sex or intimacy from her. So basically, you know, in her eyes, it's just like saying, why should she buy the cow if she can squeeze the milk for free, right? And you're the milk brother. We had a cool ass evening. Cool ass evening. You love that word ass, huh? And ended up going to the roof of my house at night and talked for hours. Oh, you talk. Dude, how are your seduction skills? What do you talk about? Are you properly groomed? Are you wearing nice clothes? Are you wearing nice cologne? But how's your swagger, dude? Are you saying things to her that, you know, like are going to hit her hot buttons in an attractive way? Or are you just being like a friend, dude? Sounds like you're talking to her like a lady friend would. At the end of the convo, when we were about to climb down, I kissed her and she responded positively. Okay, so she probably has some attraction for you, dude. And she may even think you are reasonably attractive. But it's been 2 months, bro. I would never hang out with a woman for 2 months if we haven't had sex yet. Like, seriously, by the second or third date at the latest, if it's not happening, there's never going to be another date. And if on the first date, whether sex happens or not, if there isn't some making out or some sign that she's interested in me in a romantic, intimate way, there won't be a second date. God, dude. We decided to go clubbing since, well, it is the weekend, isn't it? Oh, yeah, dude. You have nothing better to do than to hang out with a woman that's friend zoned you and you just can't see it. About an hour later, she went to the bathroom. Half an hour went by and she hadn't come back, so I decided to go check if she was okay. I've already read this, and wow. Half an hour. I found her tongue deep in another dude. I found her tongue deep in another dude. Wow. Dude, you should have already seen this coming. She stayed there for over an hour. There was probably more happening than her tongue deep in this dude. When it was about 6 a.m. and we all wanted to leave, we had to wait for her because she wasn't answering her phone. That's because that dude was tapping her cakes, brother. And you were the one that wanted to tap her cakes, but you weren't man enough, dude. You wasted all this time, 2 months. You weren't assertive enough. You weren't cool, calm, and collective, right? You weren't an easygoing, laid-back guy. You didn't go after what you wanted, dude. You took the safe route, and she friend-zoned you because you didn't have the balls to try to, just go for it early on, like most men would, right? Because you feared rejection. You feared like she was gonna run away. Well, dude, a woman's either going to be into you or not, so why not try the first time to make something happen? And if she doesn't respond, she turns the cheek, then game over. Okay? Hey, nice to meet you. Obviously, there's nothing happening here. I wish you the best of luck with somebody else, and call it a night, and then put yourself right back out there and find a woman that will be into you in that way. But don't waste over 2 months on this crap, dude. I thought about leaving her. I should have, if I'm honest. Dude, you should have never invited her out in the first place. But she's best friends with one of my closest friends, and to be frank, I'm not that guy. Who cares who she's friends with, right? She's just not into you, so why would you invest all this time? It had nothing to do with, best friends with one of your closest friends. It has to do with the fact that she's probably really hot and you wanted to tap her, bro. That's it, bro. Bro, you were oblivious because of the golden V, brother. Wow. I can't leave her alone in the middle of the night. I wasn't raised like that. Well, I can understand that, bro, honestly. But she's being rude to you. You took her out on the date, and she hooked up with some other guy. You're no longer her responsibility, brother. He's the responsible one now. It's his responsibility now, not yours, dude. But I get it. You're a good guy. You care about the best overall aspects of everyone. But yeah, dude, you know what? She left the group. She went to the bathroom and was off with this guy for over an hour. And who knows? Maybe she went back to his place, spend the night. It's out of your hands now, brother. And that's a good thing. Gentlemen, learn from my mistakes. Don't ignore the in retrospective. Sorry, don't ignore the in retrospective obvious red flags. Don't put her in an imaginary pedestal. Well, bro, I don't think you put her on a pedestal. I just think you waited too long to make your move. And you pretended to be just friends with her, thinking that that was the way to her golden V. And, she would not have even kissed you the few times you kissed if she wasn't somewhat attracted to you. But you just didn't escalate properly, bro. You were being too compliant. You weren't being a man. Women want a man that's fearless and will risk being rejected by her to go for her. That's what turns women on, not sissy guys that pretend to be a woman's friend thinking that's the way to the golden V, brother. Sometimes people are just not worth it. Well, bro, you're a little bitter now because you realize you made a stupid mistake. Okay? You made a stupid mistake, dude. And maybe you kind of did put her on a pedestal, but more so, you just waited too long to make your move, right? You could have found out what she was all about the first night. You tried to kiss her, then escalated to intimacy, right? The dude that she met at the club, wherever she met him at while she left to go to the restroom, at least that's what she said she was doing, that dude picked her up that night and was so slick and such a cool, laid-back dude and said all the right things and was just being himself that he probably got laid. That could have been you if you played your cards right. But no, you wanted to be her friend first. You wanted to take it real slow. Look where it got you, man. Lesson learned. Let's read a few comments here. And then after that, I'm going to take my first break. And then come back. We have 3 more postings when I come back. Yeah, sounds like a girl you shouldn't put your effort into. Sorry. Well, you should have tried one time the first time you met her and see what's there. Go for it. If it's not there, then you move on and you save yourself the heartache of, hanging around this woman for 2 months as friends. I mean, she didn't really seem interested. No, she didn't. She didn't. If she was interested, she would have shown him too. And all she had to do to keep this guy around, he probably bought her some dinners. He cooked her dinner. He probably did a lot more for her than he mentioned, right? All she had to do was, kiss him on the lips for a few seconds, a couple times, and dangle that carrot along, right? He had to try for 2 months to get a date, and even then, she invited a friend. What did he expect? I thought he invited a friend for her. And then she met some other guy at the club, or maybe she slipped away with this friend at the club. Now I'm confused with the story. Everyone's saying something different. But anyway, no big deal. We get the point. Money shouldn't even be a part of the equation unless you have to travel or something. Oh, wait. Above that, agree. Don't waste your time and money. Well, I will agree with both of those. And the person below says money shouldn't even be a part of the equation unless you have to travel or something. on a first date, I would never spend money on a woman nowadays. I have in the past in my younger days, but over the last 10 years or so, in between relationships when I've gone on dates until I make sure the person's with me and we're together, we've been intimate and we're in a real relationship, I won't spend any money. I will do things that cost no money, like go on a walk or a hike or meet at a supermarket or mall parking lot in the evening and sit down and talk in my car, right? Do things that allow you two to just hang out, have a conversation in person for a half an hour or an hour and see if the chemistry's there before spending any money. That'll also tell you if the woman is genuine or not, or just after your money or not. So yes, time and money do matter. Nothing wrong with giving someone the gift of your time and spending money on someone as long as they're with you for the right reasons. Original poster, she told you she didn't want to be with you. Where did she say that? Let's see. She never said that. Where did you get that from? Huh. I don't see that here. Dude, I think you're like assuming that. That was not written there. Her actions were telling him that she's not interested in him in that way. But he never said that she said she told you she didn't want to be with you. Her actions, that's what you probably mean. You ignored this and kept pursuing her. Well, he ignored the illusion of action. Another thing Coach Corey Wayne says, I love Coach Corey Wayne, he's a great guy, right? The illusion of action, right? He kept pursuing her when she was showing absolutely zero interest and kept dangling the carrot by an occasional kiss. One time from her quickly the first time, then the second time he went to kiss her and she went along with it probably for a few seconds just to appease him and keep him around until she finds somebody better. You don't get to say she's not worth the effort or there were a ton of red flags when she was upfront about her feelings. Where was she upfront about her feelings, dude? Unless this guy edited the posting. Let's see. Yeah, it was not mentioned unless the posting was edited and it doesn't look like it was. When she was upfront about her feelings, she wasn't upfront about shit. Where are you seeing this, Tatty Pie 17? It sucks because it sounds like you guys are really good friends too. Oh yeah, she friend zoned him. Of course, so they're supposedly really good friends. She's just with him. She was just with him until the right guy came along. He was doing all the things a boyfriend would do for her without the sex, right? Because she just wasn't feeling it because, hey, he wasn't being man enough to go after what he wanted, right? And she picked up on that. But, she felt safe and comfortable with him because she knew him. And he's a really nice guy. See, that's what happens. Nice guys finish last. Be a good guy, not a nice guy. Be a good guy. He was being way too nice. Got friend zoned. Sucks because it sounds like you guys are really good friends too, but that doesn't mean she wants to be with you. That's absolutely true. We are at 43 minutes. A few more comments, then I'm going to step away and take my one break and come back and go over the last three postings. Seriously, so many posts here about how other people don't fit into exactly what the poster wants. She has her own preference for what she is and is not looking for in relationships, and that isn't some red flag. That's not a red flag to know what you want. What we're saying, Feathery Leaf 420, great screen name there, or username there, right? Is that he couldn't see the red flags that she wasn't interested. She wasn't displaying interest, and he kept on pursuing her in a romantic way when she was showing no signs of interest from the very beginning. So it's not a red flag to know what you want and be attracted to what you like. But red flags for guys to look for are signs of women not being interested or being interested. And if they're not interested, you got to get out before you invest too much, because some women will keep you around if they're single, just to have a boyfriend experience with no sex, and you're paying for everything like a boyfriend. So basically, you're like her butler is what you are. That's what it is. So that's a red flag there. He should have seen it. You have to respect that and not act like she's some awful person. Nobody's saying she's an awful person. He didn't even say she's an awful person. Maybe he was a little bit upset because he realized he messed up and it was a lesson learned. He's probably really young. We don't even know how old he is, right? Tired of every post blaming other people when this one was clear as day. She wasn't interested in anything more. Well, that's what we've been saying. No one's blaming this woman, and no one is even blaming him. We're trying to teach this guy a lesson and say, hey, dude, she hung around you because she was single at the time, and apparently you were friends before that, and she probably felt like you were okay with friendship, and she probably didn't even realize you wanted something romantic, right? If you wanted to turn it into something romantic, you would need to grow some balls and say, hey, look, I know we've been friends for a while, but I got to tell you honestly, and you might reject me, and I'm ready to be rejected, no problem. But I just got to come out and tell you, I love your company. I think you're hot, and just we have great times together. I'd love to take you out, on a real date. Would you be open to go on a hike? Let's take a nice hike and get to know each other better. What do you say? You can say no, and I'm cool with that. You got to be confident, right? If he approached her like that, she might have been like, wow, this guy has balls, right? I never knew. I mean, I've been friends with this guy, and I never thought something could come out of it. But I mean, I like the fact that he has balls to come out and be a man and tell me how he feels. I'm going to give him a chance. But you didn't do that, dude. One more here. Oh, a couple more. Kissing this dude a couple of times. Why? Because they are friends, then get intimate with another dude, maybe kissing him as well. Right. Wow, that's some serious preference she's got. I'm sure that this original poster had a chance, but he just wasn't being man enough. He wasn't being assertive. He didn't tell her, how he was feeling. He didn't express himself in what he was seeking. He pretended to be her friend as a way into her romantically. And that never fucking works. Never. Well, our original poster unfortunately didn't happen to know about the wildest preference his crush, aka friend, had. I feel sad for him. I don't feel sad for him at all. It's a lesson learned. He's probably really young. I've been through that. I had no clue what I was doing in my 20s for the most part. I mean, I knew what I wanted. I wanted a real nice woman who was cute and fun to be with and have a life with. But I didn't really understand, female nature at that point. I didn't really understand attraction and what to look for. But now I do. I think you young bucks are going through what I went through in my 20s. And you're learning this the hard way like I did and pretty much everyone else does, right? She kissed him a fair amount, it sounds like, a couple times. He said she kissed him one time early on, and then he kissed her one time after being on the roof at his place, and after talking for 2 hours. If I was talking with a woman, if I had a place that had a roof with a view, and I was talking with a woman for 2 hours there, like at some point during that time, I would have made my move. I would have said, you know what, it's a beautiful night, and I'm really enjoying the conversation. And, I've known you for a while. Try not to come on too strong. I just can't help myself. I think you're extremely beautiful, but you got a big heart. And, I would just lean in, look at her eyes, see how she responds, and lean in and go for the kiss. And if she kisses you, then you put your arms around her and squeeze her tight. Women love it when you squeeze them tight because they feel wanted. They feel like you're being a man and you're going after what you want, right? And had he done that, the kissing might have become more passionate. It might have escalated to some heavy petting and touching, right? And after that 2-hour conversation on the roof, on their way down, she might have said, "Where's your bedroom?" He just didn't play his cards right. It's a lesson learned. She kissed him a fair amount, it sounds like, including sleepovers and such. Sleepovers, you folks are adding things to the posting that either were there and the guy deleted it or edited it, or you're just imagining it. None of this was in the original posting. So, no, she led him on or just enjoyed the benefits while ignoring the elephant in the room of his attraction. She didn't lead him on. Maybe she kind of did, but this guy never made a move. He never, ever, ever showed her any interest or told her any interest beyond friendship. He just went along with friendship. You guys are sitting here and you're trying to blame the woman here, and quite honestly, it's the guy's fault. And I'm a guy saying this. I fucked this up many times when I was younger. I learned. And now I'm assertive. I'm honest, upfront, and assertive. I go after what I want. What's the worst a woman can do? Say no. Okay. Thank you very much for your time. Go off to the next. There are plenty of fish in the sea. Trust me on that. It's more on him for pursuing so long. I agree. Yeah. Pursuing. Pursuing in what way? Pretending to be her friend? Pretending to be just a friend? That's why he stayed in the friend zone. That's why he initially got in the friend zone and stayed in there. But she's not innocent. Well, they probably had somewhat of a friendship before he got romantic feelings for her. He probably got romantic feelings for her because he was hanging around her as friends. That's a possibility. But if you start getting romantic feelings for a woman that you've been friends with for a little while, you got to tell her and you got to put it all out there. And you got to just go for it and see how she responds, right? This woman, like I said, they were probably friends before they got together. And he was probably legitimately interested in her initially just as friends. But as he got to know her, he started to get feelings. And now, he wanted more. But the way that he went about it kept him in the friend zone, right? And to her, she's just going along with how it's been from the very beginning. So how can you blame her for any of this? I'm not blaming the woman here. But she probably could pick up that she really liked him. Sorry, she probably could pick up that he really liked her, And at that point, she probably should have cut it off. But, yeah, sometimes women will drag things on because it's just something to do. And, yes, sometimes it's because you get a free meal or free whatever, right? If she saw him as a good friend, she'd have made an effort to let him down, since that's what friends do. It's a hard situation, trust me. It's easier said than done. That is the right thing to do, but even to the strongest, most decent people on the planet, it's not the easiest thing to do. Oh, one more here. Look at this. Look at this right here. I've been saying this all along. When did she tell him this? I reread the post twice after reading your comment, and other than a story about simping over a girl that is just living life with little thought to everyone else, I didn't see anything about her telling him anything. This is one of those angry and bitter MGTOW guys, but he makes sense. When did she tell him this? It was never mentioned. These people in the comments section are imagining what the poster said, or they were trying to kind of get in his head and write what they think he was doing, right? Nah, she led him on, totally used him. I wouldn't go as far and say that. I think he was pretending to be her friend, try to, try to get more from her. And I think they were friends before he had feelings for her, so she was just going along with it in the way she always went along with it. But at some point, I'm sure she realized he wanted more, and she didn't want more because he didn't pursue it the right way. He wasn't being man enough. And at that point, she should have stopped. But here's the thing. Maybe she just realized it the night they went to the club, and then she went off with another guy. So that's her saying, hey, dude, I want to be with this guy and not you. All right. So we are at 55 minutes. Let's go back to full screen here. And I'm going to cue up some royalty-free YouTube music. Take a little break here, then come back with the last 3 stories. And it's going to get even more interesting. I have some great stories when I come back. So, oh, yeah, I love this one. Oh, yeah, we're going to start out with some Ethan Mixell. And we'll probably come back with some Ethan Mixell. For those of you that have been around for a while, you know what I'm talking about. So let me just cue up some music here. Yeah. What do I play? All right. Music is all queued up, folks. I'm going to step away and take a 10-minute or a little less than 10-minute break. When we come back, we're going to go over the last 3 postings. Here's what you have to look forward to when I come back. From the subreddit Seduction, the original poster's title of the posting is a girl resting her hands on a guy's thighs supposed to be a sexual advance? Oh man, that's going to be a quick one. This is literally going to take 5 minutes or less to go over this posting, maybe 3 minutes or less. I think you all know the answer to that one, right? After that, we're going to go to the subreddit Relationships, and the original poster's title states, I, 31 male, have happily been with my wife, 32 female, for a decade. And I never have I felt so suddenly confused. Okay, we're going to find out why you're confused. I have an idea, but we'll get to that more so when I get back. And last but not least, this is going to be the best one. Save the best for last. From the subreddit Deciding to Be Better, the original poster's title is, I've deleted my dating apps and am going to stop searching so hard for someone. One more time, I've deleted my dating apps and I am going to stop searching so hard for someone. If I remember correctly, this is a woman that wrote this, if I remember correctly. So with that being said, stick around. Round. We'll be right back. yeah. Get ready. Get ready. Wait for it. 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 And here we go. Come on, Ethan. Yeah. Yeah, baby. Ethan Melas, Double Helix. I love this song. I used to play this song all the time from my former channel years ago on a show called Coach Eli Live. And everybody loves it. I love it, I love it, I love it, I love it. Yeah, baby, yeah, feel good. Energy up, energy up, energy up, energy up. Feel it, man. Woo. Oh, man, I am exuding a ton of energy. Do you feel it? Information Man Show. Yeah. All right, settle down, coach. You got a show to run. Oh, that fired me up. Lower the music so they can hear you. Yeah. Ethan Melas, Double Helix. Love that song. All right. Let's get right back to it. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, live here on YouTube. Glad you can all join me here tonight. If you're here live on Sunday, February 13th, 2022, the day before Valentine's Day. If you're here on the replay, forget about what I just said. Just enjoy the show because, all the content I present here has, indefinite value, evergreen value. So tonight we are doing Dating Advice for Men and Women, Volume 9. It's replaced a former show I used to call Crazy Dating Stories. I figured it'd be a better name that would suit the show. We'll get right back to that in a second. But first, before we get to that, let me first just let Ethan Melas finish the song. And I want to just mention a few things, and we will get right back to it. Wow, we're already in February, almost the middle of February in 2022. Wow, time flies when you're having fun, right? Information Man Show's like, yeah, I feel the energy. I wish more YouTubers had positive energy like you, Eli. Well, I'm going to bring back the positivity to YouTube, brother. And you're going to help me, right? Yeah. All right, folks. Hope you're all enjoying the show. Hope you've all been enjoying the great content I've been putting out lately. Not trying to toot my own horn. I'm just here to do whatever I can to bring positivity into everyone's life. So that way you can rise above all the drama, the hate, the negativity. There's far too much of that in this world nowadays. And you can accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires because it all starts deep within yourself. Okay? How you see yourself is how everyone else is going to see you. That's the bottom line. And if you love yourself deep within, that positive love and energy will radiate out into the universe and other people will be naturally attracted to you. Now, one more thing here, folks, just to also mention that this channel is primarily funded through donations, whether you're here live or on the replay. If you're here live, you can super chat. The dollar signs at the bottom of the super chat. You can send a super chat in any amount, and it will display a highlighted message at the top of the chat. The more you donate through super chat, the longer the message stays highlighted at the top of the chat. If you don't want to send a message, you can send a super sticker. Also, whether you're here live or on the replay, Nightbot is sharing my PayPal and Cash App links in the chat. Also, those links are below in the description. You can send a one-time donation, any amount, should you choose to want to support the channel. And if not, no problem. Like I've said in the past, with no disrespect. If you want to be a blood-sucking leech or you just can't afford to do it, no problem. Just enjoy the show and learn as much as possible. So that way, like I said, and I always say, you can accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires. All right, let's get right back to the browser screen and get to the next. Oops, that's not the one. There we go. Let's get to the next, story here, dating story. so I can give you guys my dating advice on this. This is going to be a pretty quick one. It's pretty comical. This is from the subreddit Seduction, and the original poster's title is a girl resting her hands on a guy's thighs supposed to be a sexual advance? One more time. Is a girl resting her hands on a guy's thighs supposed to be a sexual advance? Yes! Yes! 99.9% of the time, yes. In order for her to be resting her hands on your thighs, she has to be sitting close enough to you, pretty close to you, to do that. So what do you think, dude? Like, what do you want this girl to do? Put it out in the sky, get one of those planes where you can write messages in the sky, and she says, dude, yes, I'm putting my hands on your thigh, okay, because I want you to take me home, and I want your hot beef injection. Women don't do that, bro. They give you subtle hints. They'll put their hands on your thigh. They'll rub your shoulder. They'll look at you with glistening eyes. Okay? Dude, they'll sit next to you. Come on, man. Here's what he wrote. Here's what he wrote. There is this girl who placed her hand on my thighs and kept it there for a good 20 to 30 seconds. We were not having any conversation. How do I interpret this? Well, dude, that's a sign she's touching you on your thighs, right? Which is pretty close to, your package brother. Let's just put it that way. We want to be as clean as possible out here on YouTube, right? How do you interpret this? She's interested, and she wants you to make a move and say, hey, wow, you've got some wandering hands there. And you look her in the eye and say, you got some wandering hands there. She's like, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Well, I think you meant to do that on purpose. Well, maybe I did. At that point you say, well, why don't we do something about this? Why don't we hang out sometime? Or, you want to go grab a drink, or, you want to take a nice walk, right? Or do something that'll put you both in a romantic setting. That could lead to making out and heavy petting, and that could lead back to the bedroom, brother. That's plain and simple there. Let's read a few comments from the comment section here. Her hand was just tired, bro, and she wanted to rest it near your crotch. Nothing to be seen here. Carry on. This guy's being sarcastic, man. I'm going to give you a big round of applause just for being sarcastic, bro. This guy made a posting that was intentionally stupid to show how stupid the posting was. Damn, story of my life. Story of your life. So, in essence, what you guys are saying is these women are showing you signs that they're interested, and you're like saying, what does that mean? What does that mean if a woman puts her hand on my thigh, or she rubs my shoulders, or she looks at me with glistening eyes? Does that mean something, or come on, guys? Maybe she thought his leg was cold and just wanted help. And wanted help warm it, or wanted to help warm it. Big round of applause for that one too. Next comment. LMAO! Big round of applause for that too, man! I'm laughing at that too, man. Dude, I suck at reading signals. But even I would get that. Hey, one more big round of applause. What the hell? Even the guys that have troubles reading those signs are saying, dude, this is as clear as night and day. She's saying, if you play your cards right, big boy, she's going to want your Johnson sometime that night. You know, even when I was, these guys are probably in their late teens, early 20s, mid to mid 20s, even when I was that age. And I didn't know nearly what I know today about women, right? And dating and all that, right? And attraction and all that, right? Even I would understand what that means. Or I would have understood what that meant back then. I did. Next comment. Smile and touch her back. LOL. Big round of applause! Smile and touch her back. I mean, I would have said some witty remark. And like I said earlier, boy, you seem to have wandering hands. Or wandering hands. You seem to have wandering hands, don't you? Right? And she'd probably start blushing and shit. If she starts blushing, you're in, brother. Come on. I know a lot of people would respond something like, bro, she's already into you. Just touch her back and get her into bed. It's not just about trying to get her into bed. She likes the guy. Women know that when they like you, if they want you to like them back, they gotta show you signs of affection. A woman that's really into you is gonna completely let her guard down and submit. It's a natural reaction. Attraction is a must and not a choice. She's feeling it, bro. But I also wouldn't really know what's appropriate when a girl's being forward. Are you a man, dude? What's appropriate when a girl's being that forward? That's not a woman being forward. That's a woman giving you a sign that she's interested. Wow. Do I put my arm around her, go in for a kiss, make a joke about it, act as though I haven't noticed to see how she reacts, etc.? No. You make a confident, cool, calm, and collective little witty remark, and you say, boy, you seem to have wandering hands, don't you? And ask her that in a question form, because if you're not direct with women, ask them a question, they won't answer, right? You gotta put them on the spot when they do that and say, boy, you have wandering hands, don't you? Maybe I do, I guess, right? No, you do. You do. You know? Or she may say, well, yeah, what you gonna do about it, right? She might just say that. And then you could say, you want to blow this joint here and let's go take a nice walk and let's chat a little more and get to know each other, right? You don't have to go right away and say, hey, how about you come back to my place so I can bang you? No. You take the sign as she's interested. And if you play your cards right for the rest of the night, either that night or by the next night, second date, you're going to get it. And you might have a great relationship come out of it. There's nothing wrong with a woman giving a guy a sign that she's interested, for Christ's sake. Here we go. Here's a good one. Make a joke about it. That's like I said. Boy, you have wandering hands, don't you? So don't get ahead of yourself. Really, what you want to do is be present and aware. Don't be shy to ask or say what you want to say, even if you think you sound so dumb or weird or crazy. It's okay. Love and attraction, it's crazy. It's unexplainable at times. Just go with it. What's the worst that can happen? She could say no or change her mind. A little bit of embarrassment and a lesson to build off of. The chick put her hands on his thigh. You know where the thigh is closest to? It's closest to the Johnson. You know what the Johnson is? How much more clear do I have to be with these guys? Wow. Information Man Show says, I agree. This is pretty common sense, huh, Information Man Show? This is comical, man. This is comical, but we've all been there. This reminds me of the time when a girl pulled my cock out and started slobbering on it. Women are just so mysterious. They're only as mysterious as you think they are, or they're only as mysterious as you allow them to be, right? If you're an intuitive guy that can pick up on signs and you have confidence, you're going to pick up when a girl is rubbing your shoulders or, rubbing your thighs or anything like that. It's a romantic gesture. She's interested and she wants to see, are you going to be a man and make a move or not? Because she's made her move. Women are subtle about it. They don't want to come out and just say, hey, I think you're hot. Take me back to your place and F me now, right? Now, that's what they may be thinking. And this woman may want more like a relationship, but she's interested in you. She's trying to tell you, dude, you're here with me. I'm here with you. And I want you to know that I really like you. I'm not playing games like those other women. I like you. If you do the right things, this is going to be good, right? Did you run away? Nah, I showed her a meme. This is the same guy that said the girl pulled out, his, lower region. Nah, I showed her a meme I made about being 5'7.75", almost 5'8", in a format that was popular on 4chan 9 years ago. What's 4chan? Some other group? Told her she reminded me of a less respectable version of my mother. She's my best friend, by the way. And then pointed to dudes who passed by and assigned them Greek alphabet ratings. Okay, I don't even know what she really meant by that, dude. I don't know. That was just kind of a weird comment. Ah, yes, the old distraction technique. I like it. One time I just told the girl random nutrition facts. Oh, man. Whatever. I mean, you got to feel out the situation, but random nutrition facts? If a girl's really into you, there's really not much you can do to screw it up. But, I would just be a little more assertive, say something witty, and move the process along. Because just because she's feeling it at that moment, if you don't take action while she's feeling it, she might lose that feeling, and then it might be too late. You gotta take action while the stove is hot, okay? While the oven is burning, right? Does pretending to ignore a girl's clear advances usually make them go crazy and try harder, or just move on? Depends on the woman. Some women will try one time. A woman that's super interested in you, especially if you're both younger and inexperienced, she will try that one time. And if you don't take action, but you're cool with her and you're nice to her, she might call you and try to be a little more than subtle when she talks to you by phone and wants to go out with you again. But it just depends on the woman. I can't say I've been in that position many times before. I can say I've been in that position many times. And I've done the right thing every time. And it usually leads to making out, right? And sometimes more than a relationship. Yeah, I'd say so if you just try to be as nice as possible but not advance. This is not about being an overly nice guy. It's about being a good, charming, and witty guy that's fun to be around and playful and going with the moment. That's what it's all about. Obviously, it looked dry, and she just wanted to moisturize it. What a good friend. Big round of applause for that. Oh, my God. Wow. I guess when you make, I don't know if I want to call it a dumb posting. I don't want to be mean to this guy, but when you make such an obvious statement and you're questioning yourself on something so obvious, this is what you're going to get back from the crowd. All right. Enough of this one. Let's get to the next one here. This is from the subreddit Relationships, and the original poster's title is, I, 31 male, have happily been with my wife, 32 female, for a decade, and I never have I felt so suddenly confused. One more time. I, 31 male, have happily been with my wife, 32 female, for a decade, and never have I felt so suddenly confused. And oh boy, sorry, this post has been removed by the moderators of r/relationships. But Coach Eli always has a backup, so let's go to the backup. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right, let's read this posting and at the same time try to figure out why the moderators deleted it. As the title says, my wife and I have been together for a decade and I love her greatly. All right. Great. I have a ton of respect for her. That's great. I would never be with anyone I don't respect and doesn't respect me. She's so loving and thoughtful. I have never really questioned my future with her. Are you losing attraction for her, brother? Has she gained weight? Has she stopped being as sexual as she was? But last week, I realized that there is a woman at work that is unintentionally causing me extreme emotional confusion. I'll tell you exactly what's going on here without even reading further. I will. So he's 31, she's 32. They've been together for a decade. That's 10 years. They've been together since he was 21 and she was 22. They were very young. And I wouldn't quite say this was their first relationship, but probably one of their first 2 or 3 relationships, right? They went into this marriage without a lot of experience. And, when you're in your teens, late teens and early 20s, you're still learning about what you want and who you are and what's attractive to you and what's not. At that time, this woman probably fulfilled everything that, he's seeking in a woman. But as he's gotten older and more mature and learned more about what makes him happy and what bonds him with a woman, he's realizing that his wife that he's with is a good woman, but he's not feeling the same energy from her that he did when he was younger. And this woman at work has come along and she's making him feel energy. And she's probably flirting with him and they probably talk a lot and they probably have great chemistry. This is a really, really, really tough situation to be in, especially, he said they've been together for 10 years. They've probably been married for at least half that time. Oh boy. So I started a new job last year and got to meet 50 to 60 new people in a month. And amongst them is this woman. She is really funny. So I keep talking to her when I have opportunities. You're attracted to her, bro. You are attracted to her romantically. And you're comparing her to your wife and how she probably used to make you feel when you first got together. And like you're feeling sparks. Oh boy. We hit it off and become friends. Okay, friends. This is when issues start to happen. People that are dating or married having opposite sex friends, right? It's for this situation here and this situation only. There's some chemistry happening there. And because this guy's married, he's probably told this woman that he's married, but she wants to be friends with him. I think she wants more with him. I think she's going to try to break up their marriage to be with him. As months pass, I learn more about her. She has a boyfriend for one. Oh, which honestly made me a little relieved at first because then I should know that we're just friends. So, dude, obviously you're interested in her romantically, even though you're married to your wife and you've been with her for 10 years overall between dating and marriage. Wow. But as more time passes, I also have felt more and more connected with her. Well, the only reason why you'd be feeling more connected with her is if she's feeling more connected with you. Maybe she's unhappy with her partner, or maybe her partner is not fully fulfilling her in ways she feels you could fulfill her, and same on your side. Maybe you're feeling she can fulfill you in ways that your wife can't fulfill you or is not fulfilling you. Oh, man. We get along effortlessly. That's the way it should be. We laugh easily. We agree politically. We like the same games, music, movies. You have a lot in common. That's a great sign of chemistry. I mean, if you two were both single, this would be almost like a match made in heaven. Even though there's really no such thing, it would be the closest thing to it. Wow. I also get to see her work ethic. I know she's an honest, diligent, and hardworking person. Sounds like a really, really good woman. On top of that, when we talk, whether it is silly or serious, she'll hold unwavering eye contact with me. Well, dude, you know what that's called. Those are called fuck me eyes. Those are called F me eyes. That's another thing, another sign you guys need to look for in a woman. The F me eyes. They like stare at you with a glaze, right? When a woman stares at you with like a glaze or like a deer in headlights, those are called F me eyes. She wants you. I can say with 90% accuracy that she's feeling a lot of attraction with this guy romantically, and he's feeling the same way, and she has a boyfriend, and he has a wife. Next page. I've had a lot of female friends and colleagues over the last 10 years of being with my wife, and this has never happened to me before. It probably has, but you never felt a connection like this before since you've been with her, since you've been with your wife. And just to clarify, nothing has happened between me and the woman and I. I hope we really are just friends. No, you don't. You're just saying that. We have never spoken about anything private like our sex lives or preferences either, because neither one of you are ready to cross the line. But the more and more you hang out together and the deeper the connection grows, one or both of you will eventually cross the line. And quite honestly, if you're not feeling it for your wife anymore and she's not feeling it for her boyfriend, you need to have that talk with your partners, no matter how hard it is. And yeah, you may have to go through divorce. You may have to break up with this guy. I mean, I can clearly see where this is heading. It's only a matter of time. Everything was seemingly fine until last week. The woman left work and I had to stay for a few more hours. And I caught myself thinking, I can't wait until I see her tomorrow. You're totally into her, bro. She's filling some void that your wife isn't fulfilling either anymore or never fulfilled, that this woman is fulfilling, right? And then I realized that I hadn't even thought of my wife and was looking forward to being at work, and it kind of snapped into perspective for a moment, where I realized that I was in that moment more excited to see this taken woman than go home for the night. You feel more connected with her spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and probably more physically attracted to her. You feel like you have more of the overall connection that you desire with a woman with her than your wife. That's what's happening. Okay? When I realized that I started having a mild anxiety attack and had to go take a break, then when I got home, I broke down in tears and told my wife what I was feeling and that I don't know what it means. She laughed at me and told me that she trusts me, but I still feel really mixed up. So you told your wife about this woman. I think that's what you're saying. And she laughed at you and told you that she trusts you. Any woman that was with you for the right reasons, that was totally into you, would not laugh at you regarding you telling her about this other woman and how you've been feeling and being mixed up. She would be hurt, she'd be crying, and she would be, she would just not be feeling good. The way that your wife reacts to you is telling me that your wife may not be fully into you, which is why you're not feeling fulfilled with your wife. And you two are together probably because you're comfortable with each other. You become more roommates than just you become more roommates than being lovers and being husband and wife, right? Like that reaction from your wife is not a normal reaction in that situation. A woman that's totally into her husband would not react that, politely and that in a laughing way, and then still say that she trusts you. Wow. When I ask myself why I feel the way I do, I think it is maybe because the other woman has been able to shine a spotlight on what I have been missing. Laughter, excitement. Right, bro. That's exactly it. Based on your wife's reaction here of not even giving a shit that you have been talking to another woman at work, you say you're just friends, you're mixed, your feelings are confused between her and your wife, and you tell your wife this, and she's cool, calm, and collective about it. There's not a woman on the planet that would be cool, calm, and collective about this if she was really into you. Your wife is not really that into you. She's not fulfilling you. It's time for divorce, brother. I am committed to my wife. Well, bro, she's not committed to you. That's what it sounds like to me. First and foremost, I want to support my marriage. Well, is she supporting the marriage back? She's laughing at you over something serious, right? She didn't seem worried at all, though, because she's not really into you, brother. Maybe you make more money than her. Maybe you're a great provider. Maybe she's banging guys on the side and you don't know it. I would assume she is. Am I having a weird week? No. I don't think your week's going weird. I think you're beginning to realize that you married the wrong woman. Is this a huge red flag? Absolutely. Everything I said is a red flag. Your wife is not with you for the right reasons. You're not given enough information if you're the breadwinner, if she's a stay-at-home mom. You haven't mentioned if you have kids or not. Maybe you probably don't have kids, or you would have mentioned it, right? I'm worried that we need counseling when I thought that we were fine very recently. I don't think you both need counseling. I think you both need a divorce and find someone that you're more compatible with. What do you guys think? I just mentioned what I thought. TLDR. I love my wife and have for 10 years. You love her, but you're not in love with her. And she may love you and love your money and love your resources, right? But she's not in love with you either. You two are not in love with each other. Okay? But someone else caused me to feel confused. Well, the reason why you feel that way, bro, is because this woman is making you feel the way you want to feel and deserve to feel, and your wife is not. That's the bottom line. It's time for divorce, brother. I hate to say it. All right, let's go back to the window capture screen where the posting was deleted, but the comments are still there. Let's see what the comment section said. A crush is normal. Just be careful to not idolize this woman. The grass isn't always greener. In fact, it rarely is. This woman at work, as I see others have mentioned, is showing you the ideal version of herself. Poised, put together. Your interactions are probably fairly short and sweet. I probably doubt that. This guy is probably just not sharing everything because, his wife may end up seeing this. With your wife, you've been through things, built a life, seen her at her best and her worst, and vice versa. Sorry. His wife practically laughed at him when he told her about this other woman and the confusion of feelings. That's not a normal reaction for someone that really loves her husband. She would be hurt and angry, right? So while it is normal to catch feelings for someone new and exciting, it is really not worth throwing away a decade of commitment for. The newness and excitement will always fade eventually, no matter who you're with. But if you have a good, strong foundation, that's worth preserving. You're missing the point. I don't think his wife respects him or is with him for the right reasons. I bet you they don't have sex that often. His wife laughed at him when he told her about this other woman and his confusion of feelings. Okay? This dude, is right to feel the way he's feeling. If his wife fulfilled all the things that this woman at work makes him feel like he could be fulfilled being with her, then he wouldn't even be talking to this woman. He'd be fulfilled with his wife. He's just not fulfilled with his wife because his wife's not fulfilled with him. That's the bottom line. Listen to this original poster. This is a great answer. It is very easy to fall for someone you don't have to truly live with, i.e. pay bills with, deal with when they're sick, share a living space together. You can build whatever fantasies you want when you don't really know a person, but everyone is a complicated and fully autonomous being, including your crush. I guarantee you that in real life, outside work, she's not always a bubbly and funny dream girl. We all get crushes from time to time, but keep your head out of the clouds. What's really happening here, in my opinion, is that this man at work and this woman at work are just not fulfilled in their relationships, and in his case, his marriage. They're not fulfilled, and they both are confiding in each other, and they both seem to have some kind of chemistry. And I think you guys are wrong about her and wrong about him. Now, you never know how someone is till you go on a few dates and you're intimate with them, you spend time with them. But the bottom line is what we do know is that both this man and woman at work, the original poster, and his female coworker, that they both feel this chemistry, they're not happy with their partners. That's the bottom line. So at the very least, he needs to divorce his wife. She needs to leave this guy. What happens after that? It's like a normal dating relationship. You ask the woman out, you go on a date, see what happens. That's it. I agree. There's a weird thing happens. These people don't write properly. There's a weird thing that happens, you left out a word, in LTR, long-term relationships, where there's a flitting thing in your head. What is that? But no, resist it. Definitely isn't worth pursuing. See it as a crush. Move on. I see this as a sign that he's not fulfilled in this marriage. And, his woman is not, making him feel fulfilled. He probably has tried to do his part, but she's not reciprocating. So I think you folks are wrong. You're too young to have enough experience like I do to see this. To add to this, if you feel that excitement or certain things are missing, and that's what draws you to this woman, why don't you try bringing those things into your marriage? He probably has, and she's probably closed them off. This woman literally laughed at his face when he told her about this other woman at work and his confusion of feelings between his wife and this other woman. That's not a normal reaction for a wife that loves her husband completely. A woman that loves her husband completely would be angry and would be crying and would be saying, how can you do this to me, right? But she's not doing that. That tells a story. Why can't you folks put two and two together? Because you're too young and you're inexperienced. I get it. If excitement or playfulness is what you're missing, maybe try incorporating that into your marriage. Maybe through trying new activities or doing things to switch it up. Maybe it could help you get that excitement you mentioned, but this way it comes from/is for your wife. Have you guys thought that maybe his wife is really not into him and it's just sticking around because he's a meal ticket? You ever thought about that? All right. That's enough of that one here. I think we drilled it into the ground. We are at 1 hour and 47 minutes. One more to go. Save the best for last. The Information Man Show says, yeah. All right. This is from the subreddit, Deciding to Be Better. I love this. I love it. Deciding to be better. It's a great decision to make. Much better than living the life of drama and hate and misery, right? The original poster's title states, I've deleted my dating apps and am going to stop searching so hard for someone. So you're giving up, huh? One more time, I've deleted my dating apps and am going to stop searching so hard for someone. Well, you don't necessarily have to search hard for someone, but you can keep putting yourself out there, having no expectations, and you're going to match with a lot of people, and you're going to go through a lot of bad seeds, but eventually you'll find the one if you have a positive attitude and don't give up. Well, let's read what they wrote. There's a tag below saying this is a journey posting. Okay. I've been single for about a year. after a 2+ year thing. Okay, that's a good enough time. Typically half the time of the relationship is what it takes to fully get over someone. That's not bad. I've been actively trying to get a BF for like 6 months, and it is not working. It is just frustrating me. I've matched with like 3,000 people probably. I've matched with 3,000 guys. This is a woman. Because she says, I've been actively trying to get a BF, right? She's matched with 3,000 guys, and not one of them turned into a relationship. Guys that have been following this content for a while, that have become very well versed in modern day female nature. Do you see where this is going? This woman is probably extremely unreasonably picky, right? This woman probably wants the Chads and Tyrones. You know, I don't know how old she is. She hasn't mentioned it. I'm assuming she's like in her 20s, maybe mid-20s or so. But she wants the 9s and 10s, the Chads and Tyrones, and the Chads and Tyrones just want to bang her. I bet you she's met a bunch of the Chads and Tyrones, and she's banged them, but she's not mentioning it, right? So, but she's been looking for a BF, and the Chads just want to bang, right? And then you have the guys that are the 6s, 7s, and 8s that are still reasonably attractive and want the real deal, but they're invisible to her, right? And then she says, I've matched with 3,000 people, which are guys, right? Right? I've matched with 3,000, like 3,000 people probably have gone on 10 first dates, only 2 of which turned into multiple dates because you banged them, right? Have gone through like 20 talking stages from Tinder or meeting men at the bar. That's a horror. Tinder and the bar are the 2 worst places to meet people for a relationship, ma'am. There's your problem right there. Use Match.com and maybe even, Hinge and Bumble. Those are the 3 best ones. But Match is the absolute best. Where you're meeting these guys and hooking up with them and connecting with them, all they want to do is bang, ma'am. And the ones that want more than that are probably not attractive enough physically for you. I'm done. No, you're not. I'm exhausted, of course, because you're not playing the game right. It's not even really a game, but you're looking for love in all the wrong places. I'm disillusioned. I would agree with you on that, man. Big round of applause for you saying you're disillusioned. 3,000 matches? Wow. That's got to be super overwhelming. I mean, I remember before I met this woman I'm with and I was on Hinge. And when I got on Hinge, what Hinge does initially is they basically blast out your profile for like the first couple of weeks. And you get like 50 or 100 matches. I had a shitload of matches as a guy. And it was overwhelming at that level, at 50 or 100. At 3,000? Whoa, my God. Wow. I don't even feel excitement or disappointment in dating anymore. Really? See what's happening to women nowadays? They're so overwhelmed with options that they don't know who to pick. And I can tell you right now that there were probably a bunch of average, decent-looking guys out of those 3,000 guys that make good money, and could be good providers, and a great lover, and a best friend, and everything she's looking for, and they were invisible to her. Because she's out here on a rant saying, I'm done, I'm exhausted, I'm disillusioned. I don't even feel excitement or disappointment in dating anymore. I have too many options. Man, that was honest. And so do they. Yes, big round of applause for that. Yes. There's a problem. I have too many options, and so do they. Let me tell you, ma'am. The best of the best guys out there, and I'm not trying to say I'm the best looking guy. I'm an average, decent looking guy, right? I don't have a six pack or anything like that. I'm not a Chad, not GQ, but I'm decent looking for my age, and I take great pictures, and I have a great personality. So I wouldn't say I get as many matches as the Chads do, but I probably get pretty close to the same matches the Chads do. At least I did when I was in the dating world. I've been with a great lady for 5 months now. Okay. And so, yes, we get a lot of matches. We have a lot of options, right? I had a lot of options when I was single, looking for the right one, right? And it was frustrating and it is exhausting, but that's what it takes to find the right one, right? It's all part of the way things go in the dating world nowadays. Everyone is disposable. You're just figuring that out, man. And a more proper way of stating that is that attraction is a must, not a choice. Okay? When you have 3,000 matches, what do you do with that? How do you filter that out? Right? How do you work with that, right? It's overwhelming. Take your time, slow it down, scroll through the profiles, and anyone that you're not physically attracted to, then close the match, right? Spend a day or two doing that. Then you might have 100 matches of people that you're attracted to. Then go through those profiles and read the ones that resonate with you the most and send a few messages out and connect with those guys. You just don't know how to work online dating or dating apps. You're allowing them to work you and consume you. You need to take control of the online dating apps instead of letting the online dating apps take control of you. That's your problem, man. You got plenty of options. There's no reason why you shouldn't be with a good guy right now. Okay? Everyone is disposable except they're really not. But the apps would make you think that way. Well, the apps were made to make money, man. And the longer they can keep you on there, the more money they make through ads or through their paid services, right? I'm going to live my life and assume odds are I'll meet someone, whether it be in 2 months or 2 years. That's a better attitude to have, man. That's how it works. Sometimes it takes that long. Even in the real world, outside of dating apps and dating sites, you're not going to find someone right away. You're not going to just say, okay, I'm going out tonight. I know I'm going to find my future, husband or future wife. It doesn't work that way. It happens when the time is right. And in the meantime, you're going to go through a lot of bad seeds. You just got to, take it with a grain of salt, say it is what it is, and move on. Move forward. I'm starting my master's this September, so you're probably in your mid-20s. And I have plans to work abroad for a year or two afterwards. I'm quite extroverted. Oh, so you're an alpha female, man. There we go. So you're a female that exudes more masculine energy than feminine energy. And so you've connected with a bunch of guys that you want to connect with that are real men that will not give women the time of day that exude more masculine energy than feminine energy. There we go. I'm quite extroverted, right? See, I've noticed that women that are completely extroverted are very, are very strong women to the point of where they exude more masculine energy. And they want to wear the pants. And that's not attractive to, alpha males that you want. Now I get it. Now I know what your real problem is, man. You want to wear the pants in the relationship. You want to be in control of everything. And that's not that's not feminine energy. That's masculine energy. You're turning off guys because you're behaving more masculine than feminine, more dominant than submissive. It will happen sometime. Yeah, man. When you start acting like a woman, you'll get a good guy. Frankly, it's much easier to make a connection with someone you get to meet by chance in your day-to-day life. That's true because you see them right then and there, you communicate, and you could tell pretty quickly if there's any chemistry or not. And then you go on a date and go from there, right? Example, college, work, friends of friends. You're right. Okay. Ma'am, this is all you. You got plenty of matches, right? You're extremely picky, and the guys you want don't want you because you're behaving like the guys you want. And let me tell you, the guys you want that are the 9s and 10s, the Chads and Tyrones, all those guys, and including guys like myself, I consider myself like a 7 or 7.5, right? Even guys like me, even guys that are 7s or 8s nowadays, with the amount of information out on the internet about this, wouldn't give you the time of day no matter how hot you are, because we're not attracted to women that behave more masculine than feminine. We're attracted to feminine women, right? That's you'll find out, ma'am. You'll figure it out at some point, and then maybe you'll loosen up a little bit, and it'll change your life. Let's read a few comments here before we go off the air. We are at 1 hour and 58 minutes. Options are good, says Information Man Show. Yeah, but Information Man Show, too many options are overwhelming for men and women. But wow, 3,000 options, dude. 3,000 options, bro. And she couldn't find one guy to date out of 3,000 options, dude. That's telling me something about the way she's showing up or not showing up, bro. I mean, that's ridiculous, dude. Wow. I don't know what the hell I'd do if I was single and had 3,000 options. And if let's say all those women wanted me, right? I think my lower region, wouldn't be able to survive that. It would fall off. It would fall off with 3,000 options, brother. God dang, man. Wow. All right. Oh, this is a comment from someone named Little Metal Horse. Is this a female? I did this. 6 months of crazy summer post-divorce, basically desperate to be noticed, convinced that the next person to see me naked would be a mortician. That's so funny. I'm going to give you a big round of applause. Wow. Man, the shit attitude that people in the dating world have nowadays is what's preventing them from getting what they want. Lots of humdrum, transactional sex, hours spent flicking through dating profiles. Lots of really nice dates, sympathetic, listening, good human beings giving me their time and affection. That's what it takes to find the one. You think you're going to just put out a profile and instantly you're going to find the one? It's just going to work? It takes work. You gotta take risks and you got to properly vet people. These women are expecting instant gratification in their love life. That's not the way attraction and chemistry work. And I realized that anyone who wanted me in my broken down shit shape was going to keep me there. Well, no, ma'am. They're going to use you for sex because they know you're broken, but you're hot enough and you're, how to say this the right way. They're able to put up with you long enough to spend the night with you and have some bedroom fun, right? I only wanted one more girlfriend. The one that would last. Well, this is a dude? You're a guy? Okay. Wow. You're a guy talking like this? That's worse, bro. Wow. This is like feminine energy coming from a guy. The one that would last. And if it took me a year of self-improvement, you put if, but it's of self-improvement to get there, then great. Better a year of reading and exercise and early nights. It should be then instead of that. Then a year of dates and pretending. It's been a completely fulfilling year. No distractions, and I have met people the old-fashioned way. In the meantime, you'll be fine. Whatever works for you, in person or online, okay? But whatever you do, you properly vet the people that you're meeting and dating. If it's in the online world, you get to know them through a few messages. You exchange numbers. You talk by phone. You hear each other's voices and see how that feels. If it feels right, you meet in person. And you'll know within 3 seconds of meeting a person whether there's a large rush or spark of sexual attraction or overall attraction. And if that's there, then it'll carry on. You probably have a second date or third date, but the second or third date, if it doesn't happen on the first date, you'll be intimate, and there's the start of your new relationship. All right. And I realized that anyone who wanted me in my broken down shit shape, what's going to keep me there. And this girl responds to the last lady's comment that I just read, that portion of her comment. Oh, so true. Well, that makes a lot of sense. If you're not at your best, ma'am, if you know you're broken and you're not healed from your past relationship, why are you putting yourself out there? If you're putting yourself out there in that situation, it's because you want to get your mind off of your past And honestly, all you're probably really ready for is a one-night stand or something casual. So, I mean, it's your fault for putting yourself out there when you're not really ready. Also, it is just unethical to try to date in that situation. It is not good for either party. Yeah, I think that this person was commenting on the fact that she's not in the best place to date after going through a divorce or a breakup. It is unethical to try to date in that situation. It's a good way to put it. It's not good for either party, because if you two don't come into the relationship or to meeting each other completely healed from all past trauma and in a good place mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically, it's just never going to work out. It's going to cause a lot of issues. Kind of weird how when your goal is just to have a nice date with a human being whose company you dig, you're more likely to have a good night, make friends, and probably be in a place where the right person will come along eventually, than if you're desperate to fill a void in your life and self so you can feel normal. Yeah, but a lot of people, put themselves out there sooner than they're ready. I've done it before. And I learned my lesson. When I did that. This was earlier on in my 40s, right? And and you come across some really decent women sometimes, when you're in that position and you're not ready. But you're not ready. So, then when you're ready, you reach out to that woman and she's no longer interested because she thinks you have issues, which now you don't, but back then you did. Never put yourself out there until you're ready. And if you're going to put yourself out there when you're really not ready, be honest with people. Just say, hey, I'm looking for something casual. Just got out of a relationship. I'm just looking for someone to spend some romantic time with. That's it. And who knows, that may work out, but at least you're being honest, right? It's a subtle change. Having a smile on your face now and then throughout your day because you're getting some nice attention from your preferred sexes, but not because you're starting to think you found somebody you can get into a relationship with. Yeah, it's a good point. Nothing to add to that. No, it's not unethical. Yes, it is. It is unethical. I mean, maybe technically not, but I get the point. It's not a fair thing to put other people through, and you shouldn't even put yourself through it as well if you're not ready. What would be unethical is lying. What would be unethical is lying about it. Well, I mean, not saying anything about it is the same thing as lying, right? Now, are you saying if the other side doesn't ask, when was the last time you got out of a relationship? You don't have to mention it, and that's not lying. Is withholding the truth the same thing as lying? As not lying, I mean? Is withholding the truth if not asked, which is what I'm trying to say, the same thing as not lying? Something to think about. People are otherwise adults and can make their own choices. Sure, to each its own. Sometimes you can put yourself out there when you're really not ready and come across a woman or a man that's in a good place, and just being with them might instantly turn your attitude around, and it may work. It's rare, but it may work. Anything can work, right? But typically, for people that are not in a good place to date, it doesn't work. You just never know until you try, though, right? For everyone, it's different. That line made me raise my eyebrows profound. Okay, I didn't realize how much I even needed to see this written out for me. Thank you. Okay. How'd you meet people? I get out of the hospital and have to study until I sleep, so I meet flipping nobody. With online dating apps and dating sites nowadays, for busy professionals, why don't you use that? There are too many options nowadays for you to not meet anyone. You're just not trying. You're not exhausting all your resources. All right, one more message now. This same little metal horse, this dude, right, from earlier. And we're going to wrap it up after this. So please get your questions, comments, and concerns in the chat right now. We'll be going off the air in about 5 to 10 minutes. We're at 2 hours and 8 minutes. Well, I'm dating a nurse right now, so maybe. Okay, nice. Dating a nurse is a great profession. They make good money. They're typically cute, most of them. And they're very nurturing and submissive and sweet, because that's what their job requires them to be. And that's how women are at a natural biological level. So not a bad thing. Honestly, I asked myself why I wanted to date. Because you love women. You love the intimacy. You love the companionship, right? And you're a man. The real answer wasn't very ennobling, great vocabulary. I wanted to fuck people to prove I was worth something. Dude, I'm going to first of all give you a big round of applause, and then I'm going to tell you why I'm giving you a big round of applause. So here you go, big round of applause! You know, I used to have that same attitude in my younger days. Okay? I thought that being able to get laid makes me feel more of a man. And I've never been the one-night stand kind of guy, right? But whenever I would date a woman, for however long the relationship was, and there was intimacy, the fact that I was able to get the intimacy made me feel like I was worthy and I was man enough, right? So I get it. When you're younger, you go through that. When you get older, you just say it is what it is, right? So that hit me like a ton of bricks, and I did some pretty major work on myself to stop being such a twat. Wow. At least you're being honest with yourself, bro. I can respect that. I respect and appreciate that. Turns out, when your self-worth comes from within, you don't need half of what you thought you did. Hey, you're sounding like me, bro. I've been preaching this for years out here on YouTube. One more time. Turns out, when your self-worth comes from within, you don't need half of what you thought you did. Big, huge round of applause! That is the highlight of this show, at least coming from me. That's what it all boils down to, right there. I don't mean to be preachy, bro. I've been accused of that for years out here on YouTube, right? Because I'm a coach, right? But the truth of the matter is, that's what matters the most about us human beings as an individual. It's all about our self-worth. If we have no self-worth, how could anyone else feel we're worthy to be with them? Food for thought? And then, when I started to be the sort of person I wanted to be, you were being yourself, you loved yourself, deep within, right? Let's continue. The sort of people I wanted to be with started to want to be with me. Wow, food for thought, like attracts like. And now I find I can be very much more patient and selective. Like I said earlier, don't let the dating sites and dating apps work you. You work the dating sites and dating apps. Another way of saying it, don't let the dating apps control you. You control the dating apps. Dude, I am so freaking proud of you. This is a good dude that's learned. More and more guys need to learn what this guy has learned right here. I don't use people for my own benefit. I am a better person to be around. And when I do meet good people, I don't scare them off, skim off the surface due to my piss poor self-esteem, low energy, or self-destructive behavior. In essence, what you're saying, bro, in a nutshell, you don't project insecurities onto other people. You're happy within yourself, and you put out positivity into the world, and you get it back in return. I'm so proud of you, dude. Big round of applause. I'm so freaking proud of you, man. Right. Yes. Wow. Plus, you're in a hospital. I bet you're knee-deep in beauty if you'd only look up once in a while. Yeah, with the nurses, man. Amen, brother. Great way to end the show. Great response. Let's go back to full screen. I'm looking at Information Man Show's comment. He says, rights. You know, I love the background tonight. Oh, Information Man Show just made another comment there. People have to deal with themselves before they start engaging with other people and bringing their garbage into your life. Meaning that they need to become the best version of themselves they can be. Information Man Show. They need to learn to love themselves deep within. Self-love, okay? Self-appreciation. They need to have self-worth, right? Right? And once they have that, once you love yourself, like I've been preaching all along, you know, no one will be able to kick you down because you'll learn to understand that the only opinion of yourself that matters is your own. And when you truly have that attitude, it's a positive attitude, even people that don't resonate with you and try to kick you down, you're just going to move past them. They won't be able to get to you. Information Man Show says, your background looks great. Yeah. I get a lot of my backgrounds now from Canva. I have a paid pro membership to Canva. I think it's like $12.95 a month or something like that. And I use it to make my thumbnails now. Sometimes I use Photoshop still. But yeah, Canva has a ton of images, and it just makes things very, very easy. Like if I move up to the side here, so you folks can see this, right? I guess what I can do is just turn off my camera for a second. If I turn off the camera here, you can see it a lot better. The chat's still there. I mean, I can even turn off the chat. Right? And there's my name there. I have to take that off there. But yeah, crystal clear. And I also know how to enhance these images by putting them through Photoshop and, you know, getting the right level of brightness and contrast on there. There's, you know, an auto feature through Photoshop. And so, you know, I crop them to fit beautifully in the background. So thank you for the compliment there, Information Man Show. I greatly appreciate it. Let's turn the camera back on. And let's start wrapping this baby up. I want to thank you all for taking the time to view this stream. Information Man Show says cool. Thank you for being here, whether you're live or on the replay. If you're here live on Sunday, February 13th, 2022, happy Valentine's Day to you and your special loved one. Please be safe and sane. Tomorrow, I'm going to at least do one walking stream. That may be the only piece of content I do tomorrow, but you never know. You might get another in-studio live stream. And I may start working on some pre-recorded videos. Lots more content's coming to this channel here, so please keep it locked in. Please like, share, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe. Bang the bell, select all notifications, and that way you won't miss a single thing. With that being said, have yourselves a great night, and as always, be good to each other. Take care. Bye. Bye.